So the first question I want to ask is about FDA approval. I know some people will say, why did it take so long? And some people will say, why did it happen so fast? Can you explain why is it getting approval now?
Thanks for touching on this topic, because there's a lot of confusion out there when it comes to Operation Warp Speed and this notion that somehow the vaccines were fast-tracked and science was curbed. And the truth, Jessica, is that that couldn't be further from the truth. What happened with the development of Pfizer, Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, here stateside at least, is that all the chafe, all the bureaucracy that usually accompanies any vaccine development was instantly removed. So typically it takes months for vaccine trials to get funded from the NIH, from other sources. That time period got compressed down to zero. So there was no delays in cutting money from the government to fund these trials. So that's one reason why this process happened quickly. The second reason was it takes usually months, if not years, to actually enroll people into phase 1 to 3 clinical trials. Again, that time was compressed from months to years into days to weeks. And then ultimately getting people to say, yes, you can go from phase 1 to 2 to 3. That review process happened again on the order of weeks, not months and years. So the scientific process was accelerated because all the bureaucracy in between it was essentially eliminated. So we could do the same thing for flu, for other vaccines. If we remove the bureaucracy, we're not going to do that because those things don't cause pandemics. But that's the fundamental misunderstanding. When it comes to FDA approval, basically the same exact thing happened. Instead of waiting weeks and months and years to look at reams of data, they were forced to look at it more quickly. But we have 360 million data points here. So safety, effectiveness, process was not compromised.
They busted through red tape. It's the way we used to say it in Washington.
Exactly.
So Moderna and J&J have not yet received full approval. Do you have a sense why not, or when that might happen?
You know, Moderna's been tracking about a month in lag from Pfizer. So Pfizer's just been at the front of it from the very beginning. So expect Moderna around October 1st. Johnson & Johnson has been lagging for reasons, and I frequently talk to the company and their senior medical team for reasons that are a little head scratching, but they've had struggles talking about side effects. They've had struggles publishing data about what 2 doses of the J&J vaccine will mean versus 1. So they've been really lagging, broadly speaking, but expect their 1 shot to get approved by end of year. Expect data on 2 shots to be published in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll come back to that when we talk about boosters. The full approval for the Pfizer vaccine is for kids 16 and over, but emergency use is still available for kids 12 and up. Can you explain this discrepancy, and should we interpret that to mean anything?
I don't think it means anything, practically speaking, when we're talking to people. And I think, frankly, a lot has been made about full approval, whereas I personally say we shouldn't make that big of a deal about it. Because if we do make a big deal about it, people are going to say, well, why were you pushing the vaccine for the first 9 months if suddenly today's a big day? 12 to 15, Jessica, it's purely about how many data points they have to evaluate effectiveness of the vaccine and safety in that age group. Once they cross that threshold, approval will follow. So this is, frankly, in some ways, the science is already there to issue the emergency use. Approval is about just meeting certain thresholds of having enough data to say, yes, let's go to full approval. And it's in some ways semantics.
Right. And sometimes it's hard to find kids to enroll, so it takes a little longer to just get that data. Is that correct?
100.
Yeah.
That you nailed it. And that's why it's taking longer for 5 to 11 and even longer for less than 5.
Do you have a rough projection when parents would be able to vaccinate their younger kids?
Hopefully October 1st. So this was a key point here. Nobody really wanted to start giving a quote unquote emergency use, but not fully approved vaccine to those less than 12 years of age. It was just, there was a level of discomfort in the pediatric community. So now that this bridge has been crossed for Pfizer and soon for Moderna, expect that emergency use for 5 and up is going to follow in the weeks ahead, not months.
Hi, I'm Jessica Yellin. If you like this video, please click subscribe, and you can click the bell to get notifications when we post new content. Thanks for watching.